We're going to start with Benedictine College and Coach Larry Wilcox. Larry's been coaching for 39 years, was a graduate of Benedictine, and has been there since 1979. He's second in wins all time in the NAIA, one of only 4 NAIA coaches to have over 250 victories. He's won numerous Coach of the Year titles. He's the dean of our conference, and excited to introduce Coach Larry Wilcox. Coach, like to tell us a little. Thank you. Coach, like to tell us about your program, what you're expecting for 17.
Well, we really enjoyed playing in the national championship game last year. That was a dream I keep having, Mike. Never mind. Well, it's a new season, as I think it is every year on our campus. We graduated over 40 seniors again this past season, so there'll be a lot of turnover in the program, a lot of new faces, a lot of new names, but there'll be enough continuity with returning players that we're optimistic, definitely optimistic going into the season, and anticipate being able to compete within this extremely tough conference, and especially the North Division, which is critical to us. So we're looking forward to it.
Coach, some of the questions that were submitted to us are really based a lot on your experience, and can you tell us the importance of your veteran leadership and players? You said you lost a lot of kids, so how important is that to rebuild that continuity, and how do you do that?
Well, I prefer not to use the word rebuild.
Okay, my fault.
We're just going to add a room on, I guess. We feel like we have a foundation, we have a stability within our program, we have great retention within our team, so that helps us to bring those younger guys through the program, have a chance to learn from the older, more experienced players. But then at some point in time, they got to put their foot down on the game field and be able to make a difference for us. And we'll take these next couple weeks to really challenge them in our early season practices to come up with a nucleus of players that are going to give us a chance to compete and win.
You know, you're ranked from that spring coaches poll that I mentioned, you're ranked 24th in the country. How do you feel about your spring? Was it an effective?
Well, I think it was critically important to us because having so many players leaving us through graduation, we really needed that time to get a sense of who would be the guys at the top of the depth chart and give them an opportunity to work together. Because these first couple of weeks are just so hurried, and there's so much pressure not only on the coaching staff but the players themselves with the start of school and orientation and getting themselves settled in wherever they're living and start of classes and so forth. So you don't have the luxury of having a little time to feel comfortable with that. You got to hit the ground running.
And one last question from someone that I think I really like their approach, and you've been coaching now 39 years at the collegiate level. Recruiting obviously is key to any program. Are there any major changes that have happened to recruiting over the last 39 years?
Technology, you can, regardless of how good your coaches are, you can win a lot of games if you've got good players. So you never have enough good players, I don't feel, and I don't know who said this, but a line that I like is that if it's like shaving. If you're not doing it every day, after a few days you start looking pretty raggedy. Excuse me, no offense to those with beards, it's just an ongoing thing. Our recruiting used to extend into the month of June for the majority of our players, not just a few. And now the timetable's moved up so much that February and March are the time when most players are deciding. There's pluses and minuses to everything, and there is with that, but it sure puts a crimp on the Christmas vacation and those kind of things when you're spending so much time recruiting out of necessity and getting kids to campus to visit. There's just more pressure on the coaching staffs and also on the student athletes, I think, to being able to make a decision.
Great. Thanks. Thank you very much. Any questions for Coach Wilcox? Yes, sir.
Coach, what do you expect your team's strengths to be this year?
Well, Adam, we returned the most players on offense, our offensive line in particular, and I'm a line guy, so we're happy that we have that. We lose some key players, Tyler Hennis and Christian Hack, that were both four-time all-conference players, our starting quarterback, and so at some of those skill positions, but we've got some great guys coming back, Logan Harris and a few at the wide receiver, and E.J. Johnson, who after Hennis's injury last year became a first-team all-conference running back. So with that line, I think we're going to give a new quarterback and some skilled people some opportunities. Our biggest challenge probably is defensively, replacing some key guys, but there's some building blocks within that defense that we're going to rely on to stabilize the other positions.
Anything else? Yes, sir. Yeah, sure.
You mentioned the quarterback. Do you already have a plan on who will start at quarterback, or are you waiting to see what's in the next couple of weeks?
You probably got as good an idea as I do. If we put three names in the hat, Schaefer Sheets from Park Hill South is a great leader and a talented quarterback. Dalton Gallus, who's new in our program this past spring. Those two guys had good springs. We're waiting in the next couple days here on another name that we feel that could be a contributor. So we've got some guys that are going to be competing, and I think competition is the best way to find the best player, but also to have some depth there. I think we're going to go into the season with some depth at the quarterback spot.
Last one for you. Where's the bar set for this year? What would be your definition of a successful season?
Play Baker in Florida.
Okay. Anything else for Coach Wilcox? Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it very much.